Hi, CC families. This is Cycle 3, Week 6, new memory work. Congratulations on making it through the first quarter of the year. I can't believe that the first 6 weeks is already done. Um, we finished our unit on drawing skills this week and did a final project that you will get to see in our art gallery at the end of the year celebration. So I just can't believe it. We're ready to start Tin Whistle next week for our fine arts. So make sure your child has a tin whistle and has that in their backpack so that we have that to start learning some music theory and how to play maybe even a song all together. So let's get started with the memory work, shall we? The timeline for this week starts with India's Mauryan Empire. So we do our Bindi dot, India, and they're known for their roads. So India's Mauryan Empire. Mayans of Mesoamerica, we do like steps, like a stepwise pyramid. It's like the structures that they built. Mayans of Mesoamerica. Punic, this is a P, legs walking, and your thumb is in between. So Punic wars. Rome, R for Rome, conquers Greece. This is a sign language G, your little alligator fingers. Rome conquers Greece. Roman dictator, we salute. Roman dictator Julius Caesar, J for that. Caesar Augustus, we're going to do a sign language A and go from shoulder down to hip. So Caesar Augustus, and then make double P's for peace, and we kind of spread peace. So Caesar Augustus and the Pax Romana. Pax is Latin for peace. That's a bonus Latin word right there. John the Baptist, we're going to take our fist like a little thumbs up almost, not a big thumbs up. John the Baptist, he baptized people by dunking them down in the water and back up. So that's this week, and it goes like this. India's Mauryan Empire, Mayans of Mesoamerica, Punic wars, Rome conquers Greece, Roman dictator Julius Caesar, Caesar Augustus and the Pax Romana, John the Baptist. And then we always want to go, Jesus the Messiah. It's hard to stop on John the Baptist. But Jesus the Messiah comes next week. And that's our timeline for this week. For our for skip counting, we had 11s and 12s. So for 11s, we started with an 11, a 1, and a 1. And I'm going to actually play the song because I have a hard time singing the tune for some reason.
Skip counting the 11s. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, 110, 121, 132.
So we talked about how most of them are the same number next to each other, 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, and so on, 66, 77, okay? The 12s, we had some fun this week because eggs come in 12s, and we did egg carton bricks with the numbers, and I actually had them all the way up to 144. It was so exciting, and then we let them fall over after we had sung the whole song. But the 12s, we would sing while we stacked them, and then once they were stacked, we just pointed and counted up. So it went 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144. Crash. We had so much fun. Let's see, what's next? History. Tell me about the Louisiana Purchase. So we did 8 fingers. The date is 1803. So in 1803, the purchase of Louisiana from France prompted westward exploration by pioneers such as Lewis and Clark and Congressman Davy Crockett, Davy Crockett. Those motions have to do with purchase. We give someone our money to purchase something. L for Louisiana. From France. This is a sign language, F for France. It's also kind of fancy because the French just have that. Prompted westward expansion. We made a W with our fingers for our exploring. Westward exploration by pioneers such as Lewis and Clark. And Congressman Davy Crockett. This is obviously his coonskin cap because he always would wear that. We're stroking that raccoon tail, right, on our hat. And then when it repeats, he's got his hunting rifle. For Latin, we learned nouns, and I have a helper to help me sing the song. This is Michaela to help me with my Latin nouns. So we're going to start with verbum word. So we point to our mouth because that's where words come from. Verbum word. Deus, Deum, Deo, God, principio, beginning, omnia, omnis, all, and nihil, nothing. Well, that's something. Latin, Latin nouns. Next is English. Our verb was to do, so we'll sing it to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle. Ready? To do, does, did, doing, done. One more time. To do, does, did, doing, done. Our science had to do with the digestive system, and we sang the tune. I don't know if you know the song. It's If All the Raindrops Were Lemon Drops and Gumdrops. So that's our digestive system song. What are some parts of the digestive system? Mouth, esophagus, and stomach. Liver, small intestine, large intestine too. Okay, so for geography, we learned some of the Midwestern states, and this was our map. We talked about how our states make most of the body of like an elf or a gnome. Um, if you look at Iowa, the purple state, he's got a nose here, kind of a big nose that pokes out. And then his green shirt, he's got his big belly that comes out, and then his red pants down here. So Iowa and Missouri and Arkansas make up his body. And then he's got his fist in the air. So his blue sleeve, his blue arm here is Illinois up to his fist, his big red fist, and that's Wisconsin. And we can find this elf on any map of the United States because we can always find his nose and his belly and even down to his boot. The L of Louisiana is his little boot. And he's got his fist up in the air, and he's got a hat, and we'll learn about his hat next week when we learn the next set of states. But I think that's a neat way with some of these Midwest states that can get kind of confusing to always find the elf, and his belly, part of his border is made up of the Mississippi River coming up here. So practice looking at different maps and find these states on any map, the elf with his fist up in the air. And we'll sing them through right now. You ready? Let's point to Wisconsin and we'll start the song. Madison, Wisconsin, Springfield, Illinois, Des Moines, Iowa, Jefferson City, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas. There you go. We know half the states now, don't we? More than half. Half was last week. And then last, we added a few more presidents to our president song. We added Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor. So here's the song all the way from Washington up to where we know now. Washington, Adams, Jefferson, Madison, and Monroe. Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, and Taylor. So we'll keep going and going until we know all the presidents that we have ever had in the United States. So that's all the memory work. Next week is off. Have a great break. Have a good time reviewing all 6 weeks so far at home. Um, and bring your tin whistle with you in 2 weeks when we come back. And also, the presentation letter will be G. So bring something that starts with the letter G for us to guess. Guess. And you can also tie it in with telling us about somebody who's special to you. If you have older siblings, some of the older classes will be doing presentations on a special person. And you might have a special person whose name starts with a G. You might have a grandma or a grandpa or a great aunt, someone that is special to you, or someone that has something you can tell us that starts with a G. Like maybe they really like to eat grapes or something like that. Um, so feel free to tie that in if you'd like to tell us about someone special, and bring an item or bring a picture about them. And I look forward to seeing what you come up with for your presentation. Our skill that I want to really encourage is facing the audience and speaking out loudly. Okay, use a nice, big, strong voice so that everyone can hear you, just like I'm doing now. I'm talking nice and loud so that you can all hear everything I have to say. So, parents, you can encourage that when you're practicing at home for your presentation. And I hope that you have a great break, and I will see you in 2 weeks.